afternoon, everyone. I hope you are enjoying the sessions. Yeah. Active. So I hope you are ready for the questions also post this session to ask the eminent speakers, because all these guys are the ones who are running the country's IT and technology sector from the government side. So I hope you will have questions for them. So my start will be, India is at the cusp of technology change. You all know that how we are rapidly changing the whole IT sector. And this is only possible with the support from a private and public sector as well. So I have people who are from the government side, who are running IT, technology, and how they are bringing changes in the whole government and industrial and manufacturing sector, as well as how government is helping the startup ecosystem as well, encouraging the private sector to come and join and run the country's technology advancement. So here I'll have few questions where I'll ask each one of you few questions where I need your inputs and suggestions, and what are we doing in the government sector to improvise in technology side. So ma'am, first question will be from your side, because ladies first is the concept. So how can emerging technologies like 5G, IoT, and AI accelerate the modernization of India's traditional sector, such as agriculture, manufacturing, and add up the startup ecosystem? How we are doing it?
So thank you. Thank you for inviting me. So first of all, Department of Science and Technology is actually in the forefront of creating and empowering our research institutions, our research community, because it is said that our institutions are the seedbeds of new ideas and new knowledge. So we need to equip such kind of institutions and our youth, our new generation towards this technology. In terms of application, because what we have talked about, India has taken global leadership in digital technology, especially the financial inclusion, thanks to UPI, and we are the #1 in this domain. And it has made the lives of our common people, you talk of metros or to far-flung rural grassroots people, thanks to the penetration of our mobile phones as well as the Aadhaar card. So these two have been game-changing in terms of financial inclusion and better actually delivery of services to common people, our citizens at large. And when we talk of whether it's a 5G in terms of telecom, communication, or it's AI or IoT, these kind of technologies are enablers. And we need to really come out with a convergence of technologies in terms of applications. So if you talk of applications, be it agriculture, communicate real-time information. The farmers are getting in terms of whether it's towards the weather, towards the soil conditions, towards the crop management. And IoT through sensor-driven network, I think it is actually completely revolutionizing the manufacturing. We got manufacturing industry 4.0. So it has to be really enabled and triggered through application of IoT, and it has multitude of applications across industries. And in terms of the current my portfolio of climate change, clean energy, I see huge application because it encompasses, there is a nexus of climate change with, you can say, food security. So agriculture is of course there. Then it has water security. Then also in terms of the employment, energy security. So we see huge kind of, you can say, applications and implication of this technology, and our beneficiaries are now slowly have started realizing. And even cutting across, apart from these domains, we have really proven the whole world the way we handled COVID pandemic through like CoWIN, this app, and where our vaccination certificate was generated. And in fact, we have really showed the world how to really integrate digital technologies in everyday's life, which can impact and make the quality of life so much better for each and everyone. Although we are the most populous nation currently on planet Earth, having clocked about 1.4 billion people. But I think DST is actually empowering through its entire gamut of research activities. And we'll see indigenous development as we strive to be Viksit Bharat by 2047. There will be a greater role of technologies. We are managing quantum mission. We are part of supercomputing mission. We are running state-of-the-art 25 technology innovation hubs as a part of national mission of interdisciplinary cyber-physical system, where we are actually working on convergence of all these technologies for variety of societal, you can say, applications, and spanning across various sectors, be it like space technologies, or it could be, you can say, land record management through geospatial application of drones. So there are multiple host of applications, and thanks to all the convergence of digital technologies, we are there, and we could really position India in the developed countries league through our supremacy in this technology.
And I have heard and read in the newspaper also, we are helping other countries as well to adopt with UPI technology. So this shows that how fast we are growing, and we are helping other developed countries as well to adopt our technologies. So sir, if you want to add points to it, how we are changing. So what I'll do, I'll ask each one of you to do points on this, how we are changing in your sector. Rather speaking on 2 to 3 topics, just add points to it. And sir, you have to help how private sector is helping the advancement in technology, how adopting the technologies from your side into government sector.
Okay, warm greetings from a learner to the learned audience in the audience sitting in the learned group. Actually, I'll try to slightly, delve into it slightly. Now, with the technology, we are going to a aggregating mode now, centralized system. A one nation, one poll. I was in Joint Secretary Panchayat Raj because the Assembly, Parliament election, electoral voter is separate from the Panchayat. So now the move that we have to integrate one unified voter list. That is because of technology. Earlier it's not possible. Again, we are now recently, Prime Minister announced one nation, one subscription. All international, maybe 300 to 400 journal accessible to almost 300 to 400 government institutions. That is basically unitary system. Even CoWIN also similarly, unitary system, and it will be a decision making almost at the highest level. And earlier decision were decentralized comparatively, but now it will not there. Even Aadhaar enabled also, at the some decision will happen that this account to be disabled is possible now. It has already happened in West Bengal or something, because those sort of PAN card disabled, all those things. This is one of the factors we have to understand how to go about this technology and adopt that, and how to insulate from one certainly that decision it may happen. Secondly, I foresee in our mid-level management will be taken over by a technology. No MBA in mid-level. Either top level will be there, and bottom will be coding and some programming. This is one of the, the workforce has to adapt to that, and that is already started happening. US, I was told, this is already happening. No takers for MBA people. Only
so
technologists.
Reskilling is required in each and every
It is a very different skilling rather, not only. And thirdly, now even I will tell you GST collection. Earlier, before GST, the state were also collecting taxes, central taxes, that is service tax or maybe excise, all those things. Now only state has a power for the liquor excise, entertainment tax, profession tax, and some petrol, diesel, that whatever the other, everything is collected by center and further devolution to states. So there is a gap now. All states are crying hoarse that we are not getting refunded or reimbursed, and 6 months delay. This is one of the, we have to change in the technology that is also happening. Another very important, even recently, I think Sundar Pichai told, AI is doing 25% of coding of the Google now. So the plight of, this is one has to understand, the coding job is relegated to very low level, and rather a very different level of job had to be created. AI is one of the demanding, definitely. And another, I also, now the technology helped for the price discovery. I have seen in the fisherman sitting inside sea, he knows that what is the harbor price going on. So he's well prepared. This is one of the advantage of technology definitely, and it has, even the farmers also, any agri farmer also knows the price before harvesting now. What will happen, and even the trend also, he knows that. And another very, now recently big talk now, the technology helped the e-commerce. Retails are in soup now. That's what I think already 3 lakh retail shop closed in India. So how to re-energize, quick commerce also another problem happening because how technology is, adopted even. And I hope AI business is now speed of internet rather than speed of think or thought, as Bill Gates said. Now the internet speed, how much, that is the business speed now. Thank you very much.
Sir, please, if you can add 2 points from your sector, how this modernization is helping.
See, our role is more of a enabling ecosystem, right? So just to give you, let's say, how do you define a startup policy, right? So we started 2 decades back. Now, second is how do you go look at the center of excellences that we need to create on different domains. In the AI itself, we're trying to come out with agri-tech AI, health tech AI, edu-tech AI. We are looking at that level now. Third piece is, if we have these incubation centers and accelerators, we need to bring out more of like a Karnataka accelerator network. Now, what does it mean is, if I'm on a startup which is reached to some stage, I want to scale it up. I might be in Hubli or a 𝐕𝐚𝐬𝐧𝐚𝐲, but my accelerators, accelerators are based out of Bangalore. I don't want to attract them here. I want to give a service there. So it's like a Karnataka accelerator network where you have a accelerator based out of Bangalore and a potential accelerator based out of Belgavi, collaborating together to provide the services of scale-up opportunities to the entrepreneurs based out of those regions. We are creating an edge in the state now. That means Mysore is becoming a popular for cybersecurity. Mangalore is becoming for fintech. And AI is becoming hub of in Belgaum Hubli. Another area where they're trying to do it. More important point is any technology can be adopted until unless you have a very good quality talent available. And that's the bottom up. So what is enabling ecosystem is forecasting the demands of a technology-driven skills and creating an ecosystem of providing those skills in the state is the challenge that we face, and we are handling this right now.
I hope, sir, we are coming or thinking of something of AI policy as of now, because countries
Don't
like
read
UK
my mind.
and Europe
Don't
are...
read my mind.
Sir, if you can add your points, because you have been in industry and have been at the cusp of each and every sector which has been changing or digitally being taken into consideration. So what are your points on?
I'm fortunate to sit on this learned panel. I'm learning a lot. But 2 things. One, which in my past avatar, which finished on August 23, and the new one. See, when you see a technology, you think about 2 things. One, does the organization save some money? Because it's about revenue expenditure, which you would like to arrest. 2, will it help the common people? So finally, we are answerable to the common man who votes and who is a taxpayer, also a non-taxpayer, a citizen of this country. So how does it benefit that particular person? And 3 is that, can we hit the sustainable goal? Can we save the environment? So my earlier organization where Chris, I was the governing council member, we thought about this, and you would have seen that railway, we run more than 12,817 trains per day. And almost across 67,000 kilometers, we run 2.4 crore passengers per day. Now, ticket size, which is just 1 inch by 2.5 inch, if you put that sheet for 2.4 crore people, it would be so many kilometers of the paper sheet, and that means so many thousands of trees to be cut. So when you went online, do you save environment? A. B. Do you save fraudulent? 3. Is it easy to a person to sit at home and do it? While you're doing this particular part, we went extra mile, and can we enroll the latest technologies? For example, can space play a role in the railway? And that you can see today that geospatial technology was used when you could tell the passenger, this is the place where your coach will come. So earlier you used to hear that announcement, train 3 number ki train 4 number pe jayegi. Now you don't hear that out. Now you don't have to listen to that announcement saying that ki 5 number ka coach jo hai wo 6वें bogie mein aayega, 6वां wala jo hai kahan aayega pata nahi hoga. You know where coach is coming because geospatial has been used, and you can stand where your coach will come. Now this helps pregnant ladies, old citizens, senior citizens, also children, because they would not run, and the number of accidents have come down. So one single shot, you save the environment. 2, you give ease of doing business. 3, you help people bring down the accident ratios. Now bringing this into place, my current role in Center for Knowledge Sovereignty is how do we translate this, and geospatial has been used by the people who are at the age of 14 and 15. So there is a huge program which has come up, and someday I can talk about MMGIS, where former chairman ISRO is trying to meet students of 8th standard, and whether we can use geospatial technology. And let me give you one simple thing. Everybody sitting in this room has used maps or maybe using maps. But if you drive from here to, say, for Kashmir today, will you know that what will be the temperature on the road? Are you equipped with the clothes for that particular temperature? So if the maps could tell you that this will be the temperature by the time you reach that particular place, you would have certain clothes. But can we make the maps more intelligent, smarter? We have that kind of infrastructure. The only thing is you have to translate that. Think about the last person who is going to use that. And my role is to think about that last man who cannot pay for these services, but deserves the services more than you and me.
Reaching to the people who are needed the most.
Of course.
means
They're rulers,
that.
right? They
Yeah.
are the final rulers.
Yes. Sir, please, if you can.
Thank you for inviting me once again. First of all, my take on this point is on two sides. In the first inaugural session, our honorable ambassador from Denmark talked about yesterday's this mobile outage in Denmark. So I was just finding out from the internet, and I found that there could be two possible ways. One, submarine cable was somehow disconnected, or the two is there was an update which the system actually took. So whatever it is, both of those things, after this CrowdStrike-led, this blue screen fiasco of Microsoft, it is clear that we are into a zero trust situation. So when we are actually, as sir was talking about aggregation, so when we are placing everything into one bucket, so we are making all of those things vulnerable. So whenever we are actually looking into digitization or adapting to a change, we should start by accepting the principle of security by design. So
I totally
design
agree.
thinking, and with that, the security by design is the most important thing. This is one. Next is what sir was taking and we were discussing prior to this. And everyone also talked about.
And sir, for this, certain has also come up with a guideline on security by design.
There are
Yes.
n number of guidelines.
Yes.
Nobody reads, nobody owns, nobody wants to follow. So just bringing out a guideline, the whole problem is who is owning that guideline, who is actually, so many VAPTs are going on.
Yes.
Any organization earlier, 7 years back when we actually started doing VAPT, 8 years back, we used to actually do the VAPT for top 20 OWASP standards.
Yes.
Right now, where we have come down to top 1, 2, 3. Because if you expand, every, application is vulnerable. Because if you start bringing out vulnerability, nobody will own and he will be kicked out of the room.
Yes.
So ultimately it is the delivery that is required. So we all have to own. Let us not go into the, this policy and the guidelines, rather how we are going into that. So what ma'am and sir was talking about skilling. So I was talking to sir that most of the people don't know how to actually ask questions vis-a-vis Google and ChatGPT or this. So in Google, it is a repository-based question answers. In ChatGPT or any LLM, it is conversational. So this is called prompt engineering.
But this is also risk as well. Because
No,
those
I'm
will
not
be
going
copied.
to risk, sir. I'm talking about prompt engineering.
Yes.
If you don't want how to ask questions, you will not get the best answers.
Absolutely.
So even in case of Google and all, there are advanced searches and all, but that is not conversational per se. The conversational is LLM and SLMs. So we need to actually start teaching our children on how to converse with the available solutions. That means the LLM and SLM. And how to make data-driven decision making. That means you need to visualize the data in such a manner that anybody can take a decision. Whatever sirs are sitting here, most of them are policymakers, framers, and they are replete with data every day, and they have to take a decision. We can, name n number of solutions, aggregate them, but ultimately there is a need of a dashboard which we don't get. whatever dashboard we visualize in our head, we don't get.
Yeah.
So that visualization, we need to have the capability inside. That is what the next generation should have. Both this, this problem statement identification, enumeration, designing can only be possible if we start conversation with the LLMs
Right
and
questions,
SLMs
yes.
and prompt engineering. And the second is this, the data-driven visualization, data decision making based on data visualization. So that is the skilling that we need from the school level. That is my take, and that is what West Bengal is doing silently but very seriously.
Okay. Sir, if you can add few points how private
Sure.
your sector is helping each and every department and industry.
Completely agree with sirs, like all are very experienced person here and getting very good learning from them. So one thing like as a digital Bharat future, what we are thinking like to provide easy access to our population to get their work done, like UPI or railway booking app, anything. But when we think about like the service provider, like as a government employees who are providing service, how they are working on these devices, their working conditions, their mobiles, their laptops, their desktop, their machines. And that become a very big threat for us because we are the soft targets for malicious attacker who wants to attack the system to like mislead completely. So what, while I'm visiting multiple government organizations and what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, like these devices, starting from like, they may have some multiple tools, one for patching, one for encryption, one for your GPU policies. And to manage these tools, we don't have that knowledge or we don't have teams. So we have 16, 17 tools just to manage my Windows machine. And some organizations even don't have that. Now, second attack, like which we hear recently in multiple organizations, like from your mobile phones. Mobile phone employees are using to access their emails or any official data. And now what we hear, like there are some links which are sending on these personal mobile, and while clicking some malware attack which fetch your data like from official data like email, basic emails. So how we are going to ensure that these devices which are going to provide services to our country are secured enough, and same way our employees who are providing that service will get a secure access of these apps in an easy way. Like they don't need to go like, if I want to access my email, I need to visit office or particular device. How I can get like, do my work from anywhere. And that COVID teaches us.
Yes.
Like, so that you should enable your employees to do their work from anywhere they want and ensure the security. Like sir mentioned some point, zero trust.
Accessible and security. should be
Accessible
part
and
of it.
security. And with zero trust, like you can't trust anybody, but you need to make sure that your system will work only for him. Verify. Plus data visualization also sir talk. Like, so let's say if I ask any organization like, how many of your employees are accessing emails on their personal device? We don't have that data.
Yeah.
But if I have that data, ki, okay, out of let's say 2,000 employees, 1,800 are using, or 3,000 devices are using. You have 2,000 employees, but 3,000 devices are accessing your emails. That you need to control it. Because if some audit comes, some attack comes, then we will look for that data. If there is no attack, we will not look for that data. Now, second thing, how many Windows machine you have in your organization? I was working with one customer, like government customer. They said, okay, we have some 17, 18,000 devices. I'm not sure how many are live, how many are dead, but that's what we purchase like as per last record. Nobody has that accurate data. So if you don't have that data and some attacks happen, something happen, then how you are going to find it? You should have knowledge about data visualization, what all machines, what all systems you have, what all applications they are accessing based on their permission, based on their access. And if you get it from a one tool, that would make your life easy and smooth.
No, totally I agree with you, because you should know where are your assets and how secure they are.
Correct.
Based on that, you can find the solution as well.
Correct.
Because you don't know who will attack what time, but
Which
you
machine
should
you
be
will
knowing
attack,
the,
correct.
and as sir said, there should be a, people have policies in place, BCP, but they have not tested it since long. Do you agree with me, sir? People have not tested the BCP policies of their organization. So once the attack happens, nobody knows what to do.
That is not BCP policy, that is CCM, Cyber Crisis
Management plan. So BCP is for a part of it. So do you agree with me? Is the government organization and infrastructure is ready for any of the attacks? Do they know everything, how to respond to those? If you can answer one by one.
See, I'm not the right person to answer, but let me tell you one example. Everybody sitting here would have traveled by railway someday or the other way, right? Everybody have traveled in railway, right? Did you ever find a situation where somebody else tells you that this is my seat? मैंने भी खरीदा, ऐसा तो कभी नहीं हुआ है.
नहीं, I have
So,
never found.
one seat is sold to everybody. My neighbors are always happy to sell. So every day, the number of attacks on Chris servers may go into, I mean, I don't know, the count is
Lakhs,
not.
yes, sir, I
And
know.
the neighbor sitting there, whether it is a state sponsored attack, whether it is an organization which hates me philosophically, whether there is an organization which hates us religiously, or a lone wolf sitting on my western border and my northern border tries to sell my tickets. But fortunately, I think I can tell that we have never sold same seat to two people. We always sold one ticket to one guy. So, but yes, you rightly said we should not shy out from the attacks which happened, and we have seen things in one of the best medical institutes of the country, or maybe in the best cities of this country, we had power outage, and we should not shy out from this. So there will be the attacks, but I'm sure the learned panelists here will talk about the enterprise level of challenge. But I was very happy when I was talking to Parag in the green room that, you know, the challenges which are coming to the common man. I'll give you one example. Farmer of this country gets numerous type of benefits and informations from the government. So the central government, the state government both. Whether there is an information on the subsidy, on the seed supply, whether on the buying cost, or maybe, you know, even the weather, this thing. So he uses his mobile. And I was excited when he was telling me that, do we protect his mobile from attacks? What will happen if that becomes vulnerable? So that gave me clear that we should also talk about not only enterprise-wise BCP or CCM, but we should also talk about the end user. How do we protect his device? That is very important.
I'll add to that. Actually, I was earlier joint secretary in the Panchayat Raj. I was designated as the chief information secretary in the ministry. And I really got into what is the role of that, and there was an annual or maybe 6 monthly, there was an internal bureau will conduct the conference on sensitizers. But in our system, I'll tell you small inside story, nothing secret about it. We all depend on the NIC for our all platform dependence. For our computer repair, all those things, we depend on the outsourced person. He only has a small iCard. We can't verify that who is the person. He repairs and what he embeds. I mean, secret software, we can't know that. Secondly, another very important happening in our system, we are, actually I was in cooperative earlier. I used to visit the cooperative banks, because of my job. The server room is accessed by everybody. Somehow cooperative is basically slightly political oriented. Everybody knows about it, and it was open to everybody. Everybody can walk in and all those things. I know maybe in the
But
crime
now
area-
I think, sir, it has improved because RBI is pushing for
that's
too many
true.
things.
But one is
So-
that definitely, I don't think so. Cyber security will be foolproof because the technology advancing so high. They are also extraordinarily smart to how to, enter into. But problem of the individual behavior is very important. Whatever said and done, unless that improved, but in that what happened? Prisoner dilemma happens. Because every rational human being also will not cooperate each other in their best interest. That one of the problem, how to overcome the prisoner dilemma.
I think I will just go with him. What he said is about very important. But what we are also trying to do is go a little bit more deeper onto this problem. We have our own cybersecurity departmental policy. Every department is looking into a policy perspective. We have recently come out with a cybersecurity for a front-end perspective, right? So this is a very different dynamic policy, and you can download this policy and see that. Second piece is very domain-specific knowledge centers on cybersecurity. Cybersecurity on banking, financial, and insurance. Cybersecurity on retail. Very different domains we are targeting the cybersecurity, and from there, we are actually putting together like a big simulation room where the attackers and defenders are sitting across and doing the exercise of understanding. So we are trying to put a system in our state which is little ahead in terms of thinking around to say how we can protect. But what's, my colleague has just talked about is, at the end of the day, whatever you can protect, you can protect. Whatever you can't protect, you don't know what you can't protect, right? So you have to live with that, but we have to be smart enough to understand and create those sensors around us, which we can do. Last bit, I completely vote for him, is that individual perspective and individual behavior is very critical in handling your ecosystem. If you are not responsible of your own doing, then nobody can change and nobody can take a responsibility.
Self-awareness is most important
100%.
thing, which I see. Ma'am, if you
Yeah. So I completely agree what learned panelists have just shared. just wanted to share a very recent intervention of Department of Science and Technology in this direction, where we are targeting to be Atmanirbhar. So that is Bharat Gen project, which is like less dependency on the foreign AI technology. So this is an indigenous, multi-model, multilinguistic project where we develop our own version of ChatGPT to say. And this is a very ambitious, you can say, collaborative project. Various ITs are involved in this, and this will be sort of a, it actually factors in, it's an open source. It factors in the cultural diversity, and actually it will penetrate down each and every one. So this is going to be a really, we wish, and I think in 2 years down the line, initially it is targeting few languages, but it will cover entire languages. So Bharat Gen was launched as a part of a 100 days program of the new government, and this, just wanted to share this. And taking in terms of the way these kind of new technologies are going to impact, particularly we are talking about any new technology if we embark on, we need to have a complete SWOT analysis. So what challenges, threats are going to be posed, and that's why ecosystem building is so very crucial, because government has a role to play in building the requisite ecosystem, factoring the entire, you can say, mapping of the way we want to really go forth in this direction. So with regards to clean energy, you are already aware, sustainable SDGs 17, they are in number. ESG is now being mandated for corporates as well. So if we really want to leave a mark for our future generations, for a cleaner and greener planet, we have each one of us has a role to play. And how do we really infuse technologies for making, you can say, a dent in the clean energy or climate change environment? I see someone talked about the power outages, and that's how we came into really creating a resilient smart grid system. So grid management is a larger role. How do we really also integrate with the cyber security layer in the grid? So that's, we have supported multiple projects with international cooperation, and DST happens to be the part of, from India's side, Global Platform Mission Innovation. And there are 7 missions, and we are taking lead in all the missions. In terms of, see, if you say a drug molecule takes a 10 years time and $1 billion of funding to only come out with a new drug molecule. How can we really compress the timelines and come with really the drug? So drug discovery as well as the materials for energy storage. So everything is now being enabled by AI. With the host of data points, we have a model, AI-based model, which enables us to come out with the best materials, with the properties if we can really. So this is actually making our research activities a boon to research activity. Whatever, even reduction in the research cost and budget. So the time taken for coming out with a new material and product, taking millions and billions of dollars, can be really reduced by a fraction. And so is the time. So this is a really the way these kind of technologies are helping. And now with the big projects, where the projects, you can say setting up takes a time physically, we have a digital twins. We can mimic the physical, you can say, project with a baseline data and really come out with a model which really is much more climate resilient, or maybe much more secure model. So these kind of interventions are really revolutionizing the entire, you can say, discovery process, and also enabling technology and advancement. Just to also share about the startup ecosystem, India will soon be announcing the deep tech startup policy. And since we are third largest startup ecosystem, but that's primarily thanks to the aggregation service oriented. But Now is the time we really need to come out with the technologies which are indigenously developed, which are deep tech and which cuts across the entire health tech, biotech, medical devices, to clean energy solutions, to really AI, ML driven kind of solutions. So I think when we need to really provide the, you can say the resources, it should not be subcritical. If we really want to take a leadership position, India as a DST is driving quantum mission. We are the first ministry in the entire government of India where we are providing grant funding up to 25 CR to a startup, unheard of. That's a quantum because we want to develop technologies for quantum computing. So first quantum computers are, and then quantum materials, quantum communication and quantum sensors. So this is actually high time where we really can sit together, and going forward, government alone cannot do. When we have the same shared purpose and mission, all stakeholders really need to come on board to align with government, and that's how we can really do wonders, and India could be in the top league when we are 5th largest economy. We can really march ahead in both in terms of economical, technological, social, and at the same time be environmentally responsible. Thank you.
Sir, you.
I'll just add to what everybody was saying. We need AI, we are depending upon AI, we have to skill up on AI. But everything requires compute power. So Honorable Prime Minister has been telling that it is high time we started having our own compute power, because most of the computation power that we derive is from the cloud, and that too by MNCs and others. West Bengal government has come up with a data center specifically wherein we provide compute as a service. The amount of compute power that we are giving out in the first phase is 160 petaflops. The output file size that we have identified is 12 petabyte. So I would request, in just 1 month time, by this December, it is ready, it will be launched. So you can just try, visit our site and find out that it is open for, education institutes, startups, MSMEs, anyone. Anyone doing business or anyone having activity in West Bengal can just log in and use that. And if there is availability of, resources unused, then we will open it up for the entire country. So the issue is everybody must do the same thing. At the same time, we have come up with a, umbrella security operations center. So one hand is computation, generating AI-driven solutions. Another hand is security. That I wanted.
So, sir, this will be a last question. So, I want to ask each one of you. There are too many things, too many technology advancement are happening, and we know there is a dearth of technology and security professionals in government sector. So, how we are tackling with those challenges? Are we taking help from private sector, or how we are filling those gaps? Reskilling of officers, or we are taking help from private sector to come and help as a PPP model. So each one of you, if you can give two cents, and then.
Are only the right people, because we three will not be able to comment on this.
No, sir can help actually on that, because he's the one.
Can do it, and they are the right
Yeah.
people.
So if you can give
I
this.
just said because for all this activity, MeitY, Ministry of Information, is the nodal department, and Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. These are the two nodal departments which are enabling India to really take stock of the way we really want to have the skilled workforce prepared for it, and also our UGC and AICT. So they are designing new course curriculum, and DST is also enabling a part of the entire big network. Recently, we have actually also announced Anusandhan National Research Foundation. So that's a new entity which top body is chaired by PM, and as rightly pointed out, PM wants to position India in terms of the technological supremacy, and the basic foundation is how do we really prepare our youth, our young force, our younger generation. So education needs to be tuned with the future requirements of the technology. So that is being done in terms of the upgradation of, and you talked about one nation, one subscription. So these are the, you can say, game-changing initiatives which Government of India has already launched. And I believe in terms of reskilling, only the government official now we have 𝐈𝐲𝐿. So we are mandated to really undergo periodic updation of our skills level. But if there is a mapping where India by say in the medium term, say short term 2030, 2047 or beyond, if we really want to have the workforce certain percentage, we really need to align entire education system. That needs overhaul and that needs to be really aligned with our futuristic needs. And I think that exercise is being done.
I'll add to that. Actually, the cyber fraud, my observation, this is happening in either split second or seconds, but our response in hours. This is the real gap between our response and the occurrence. Secondly, what happened, these are all, the cyber fraudsters are highly innovative, there's no doubt that. More innovative than the developer of the system itself. Because the way they are tricking, they are whatever coaxing or the way of luring, it's a very strange phenomena. It is not India, all over the world, I think, definitely. Thirdly, what is happening, we have a created system. India, even abroad also I've seen that, because we have a system, but problem what happened, what is their capacity is, we never, do that. Even, suppose I give you example, you go to a police station with your cyber fraud. Police station register FIR, but they don't have any capacity or even enabling system to immediately instruct the bank to block it, because they have to go to a higher level and to block it, because that by that time our type of response is there. That's one of the problem in happening in technique in the, especially in the cyber world. Otherwise, it may be possible. Even certain, I checked out with the banks. Bank has a 24-hour settlement period. If they settle it, you cannot get it back, because that's a agreement between them, and they have to, honor that agreement. So by the time it opens, suppose the fraudster takes cash from ATM, you cannot do anything because hard cash has gone.
Yes.
And secondly, banks also, without account holder permission, they cannot withdraw money, unless until it is by some court or some enforcement agency. Otherwise, they cannot. They don't have any power to do that. Even they want to also. These are all SOPs. I think we have to do business process re-engineering in cyber fraud. Otherwise, this will continue.
So, sir, last one point, how private sector is helping, then we'll wrap up the session.
So as our PM's in his motto minimum government, maximum governments. So we follow the same because the entity let's say power grid or any power company, they are focused on how to distribute power, how to make sure that is always available. But the system who are delivering these things, that if we have something to make sure the work they are doing, they don't need to focus, they don't need to spend on IT side. Because anyways, all these systems, all these services are going through that IT. So instead of focusing on IT, you should do a minimum governments, maximum governments here and focus on service delivery. That should be our motto.
Thank you, everyone. Any questions so that we can wrap up the session? Yeah. So we can take questions offline. You can meet all the panelists. And thank you very much.